Hi everyone, and welcome to Whiteskys Wisdom. This is a reading for Capricorn. How are you going, Capricorn? I'm a Capricorn rising. Let's get into it. What you thought would be a firm foundation has not proved to be correct. The external world's not reflecting how you feel inside. I think you're actually feeling quite secure in yourself, but the environment around you is anything but. The more you keep on rising your vibration, the more you keep on vibing high and really getting into yourself and doing you, the more you're realizing that there's a disparity between yourself and the environment. I'm just going to straighten this up. So you could feel like things aren't quite in order and aren't quite straight. And it's affecting the way that you feel about yourself, which isn't right, because the way you're actually feeling about yourself is actually really quite grounded and awesome, actually, this month. We're in Taurus season, so it's natural for you to sort of feel a lot more stable in an earth season. But the way you're thinking is reflecting in the outside, and that's where the disparity is. At times centered, focused, grounded. At other times you see something happen in the outside world and it gets your thoughts off kilter. And when that happens, that's when stuff comes at you that you just aren't expecting. There is someone in your environment that isn't too happy about your rising up, isn't too happy about you pulling your energy back into you and doing you this month. But in all honesty, I don't think you're really interested in that. Let them do them. And it's also really important not to let them bring you down. Let them bring you into a state of fight or flight. Because I think for the first time in a long time, you're actually not in a state of fight or flight. You're actually quite grounded and settled. No matter where you are home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within you. Absolutely. So your outside environment, as I said, is not reflecting your inner world. Your inner world's very stable, secure, and grounded. And it's coming from pulling your energy back from other people. Let other people do them. And you know that. Because there is always somebody that is not happy for you. There's people that will celebrate you. And all this is you looking back on your life and wondering, in the past I was happy, at the moment I'm not so happy. Will I be happy in the future? The answer to that is yes. But it may take moving on emotionally to keep the vibration vibing high. And that's okay. That's okay. It's not a big deal. I don't think you're really worried about it because you're heading towards your full happiness here. You're getting your ducks in a row. Yeah, the mind games continue. They'll always continue. The way of the world literally is, if you're starting to really vibe high, get your money in order, get everything in order, there's always something or someone that'll come at you to try and put you back into this sort of energy of feeling completely stuck. But if you really look at this card, this person, all they need to do, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's a person, it could be a Palladian, needs to just back up slightly, and those amazing swords of truth here will free them from the issue. It could come up too about what society expects you to do socially. We get together and we drink, or we get together and we gossip, or we get together and we whatever. And you may be pulling yourself back from the whole deal and wondering if you're ever going to actually have someone on your side, because you could be hearing the twitter of people in the background having a good old go at you, or you suspect as much. And if that's the case, don't worry about it. People can talk, people can say what they like, it's up to them. But it's also, I think, you're starting to think about, oh, well, how about my reputation? And is my reputation being sullied? Well, people are going to talk anyway. But I think what you need to realise is just keep on doing you and keep on vibing high. And it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what they think. If you keep on showing up and being the best version of you and keep on going for the gold, that whatever anybody says is just going to be proved wrong in the long run anyway. So I think it's a matter of keeping yourself to your own standards. If the people around you are gossips or drink too much or start to, look like that everyone's having a great time except for you, but he's outdoing them, well, that's fine. Let them. Because the right person is coming for you, and that right person at the moment is you. You've been wondering if there is going to be a best friend, though. Will I find that person that really gets me? The answer is yes this month. Because you're putting yourself out exactly as you are, exactly who you are. Bountiful, beautiful, incredibly magnetic. You can create whatever you think, and you know that. So you're needing to really check your thoughts. Are people of the outside world, events of the outside world affecting you, so you're starting to end up in that fight or flight, starting to end up thinking about all those negative thoughts about, oh, everybody else is having fun and I'm not, or people said this, people said that. Let people. It's none of our business really what other people think of us. Because you're really wanting stability. It could be 4 other individuals, 3 other individuals that are having a good old chat. But it's also balancing the body, mind, and spirit, but also the elements, earth, wind, fire, and water in ourselves. Because you're having an absolute rebirth moment. Rising from the ashes, phoenix rising moment for Capricorn. What you were once and not so long ago has completely changed. What you hold to a standard has completely changed. So therefore, if your standards are rising, the people or the events or the situations in your environment might take a little while to catch up with that. But don't give up. Keep on moving forward, Capricorn. You've got this. Even if it's just yourself telling yourself every morning, hey, you're looking great, you're doing good, you're vibing high, and you get to work or you go out and there's all these, oh, Capricorn, you just shake it off, shake it off. Put on something in the morning that makes you feel good. Music, dance a little, put on something, clothes or the colour that you really like, and it'll make such a difference to your world. See, others need to come up and meet you where you are instead of you going down to where they are. Okay? There's a lot of fear in the world, particularly about finances and stability. And people could be really looking to you for guidance. Because you are stability. You are finances. You are very much of this world. Okay, but by you being you and flying your freak flag however you choose to do so, even if it's in the smallest of ways, it's raising the whole vibe of the whole collective. Things of, we used to do it this way, or I was a lot happier when I was doing this, or things of the past will come up. But we can't go back there, that's for sure. The past is the past. The past is history, the future is a mystery, and the present is the gift. So it's really important to be right here, right now, and take all the things that have been said and done, yes, but be right here, right now. You're going to see a massive change in 7 days, a week. You're going to see massive change in July. It could take a couple of months. But I think you'll be really looking back over where you've come from at the moment, where you've come from. What was my foundation? What was I taught? How was I trained to act in certain scenarios? How was I trained to interact with people, with work, with society at large? And it's really good to have this reflective time. Incredibly important. And realize that you've got this. You've got this more than you've ever had in the past. And yeah, the things of the past that used to worry you, or seeking attention, or worrying about what you're going to do when you're older. Will I be alone when I'm old and all that? I don't think it's going to matter so much. Because when you figure out who you are completely 100, that's when you'll attract your vibe and your tribe. So it's all a bit of a testing grounds at the moment, you know. Test this person out, test this environment out, test this way of dealing with society out. And see where it goes. But don't beat yourself up if it doesn't work so well. Because you're heading for this. You could be thinking about starting a family, yes. But you're heading towards whatever you think you manifest, and you can create new in your world at any stage. You can reinvent yourself. And the Empress embodies all 4 of the elements. The water element, emotions, the wand element, the drive, the intuition, the swords, the thinking, and beautiful earth sign, the earth element, pentacles, where you can manifest what you need to survive in this world, not just survive, but thrive. So yeah, it's a time of retrospection. And in the past, you may have felt bound and chained, to different things in this world. And she's holding on to fear. Overcoming fear. Accept and nurture your fear and move forward anyway. Change is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But you're coming to the realization that if you keep on doing what you're doing, keep on socializing with the people you're socializing with, and or relating to people in a certain way, you're only going to get more of what you've got so far. And by realizing the patterns of the past is how you move successfully into the future. It is a choice to put down the fear and do it anyway. Because it's a case of understanding the miracle of being here, being now. But it does take retrospectiveness to check back in and see where you've come from, to figure out where you'd like to go, but also bring yourself into the present moment to actualize it. And have a look and see if there's any more guidance here for you. But yes, it's always a good time to check back in with yourself in an earth season as an earth sign. You know, where's my foundation? What am I working from? Because if your foundation's not firm, you're going to build a tower moment. Time in the sun, very important. But you're searching for that happiness. But the happiness is here now. You just need to choose to be so. Because you're turning your world on its head. Whereas once you might have felt like you were left out in the cold, abandoned, ignored, left to wander the earth in the cold and the dark without sanctuary and security. But you're finding that sanctuary and security within yourself. What a divine gift to find that. No matter where you are home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within you, Capricorn. And it's time to move in to a time of happiness now. To leave the past in the past. To choose to move into the light. Each day, reconnect, check in with yourself, realize you're going to have a lot of stuff come up from the past so you can heal, alchemize, and move on. But you're doing such incredible work, Capricorn. I'm so darn proud of you. Well done. This is massive work. To realize that, yes, maybe the foundation that I was raised with, the foundation that I believe, my operating system has me act in a certain way. But now I'm choosing to change that. And so there might be times where you don't feel so happy and sunny. But as you keep on moving towards this happiness, you're moving further and further and further away from this. Oh, what a joy to move out of the cold and into the sun. And yes, in the Northern Hemisphere, that's exactly what is happening. The snow is melting and the sun is coming out. So get outside, Capricorn, and put your feet on the ground and your head in the clouds and just absorb that gorgeous rays of the sun. Get that vitamin D into you. It's going to lift your spirits and make it even easier for you to connect in with yourself. Make it even easier for you to realize that on the other side of fear is freedom and success. You just need to choose to put down that burden. It's time to move on from the past and create that wonderful, firm foundation that you so long for. I really hope that helped. If you'd like to like, subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'd just like to say thank you so much, Capricorn. I love you all, and bye for now.